Okay, we're always getting asked, how do I fix a puncture on a trike bike? So here we're going to show you. This tyre is flat, got no air left in it, which makes it really easy to get off the trike itself. So all you need to do is to pull the tyre out, and you can actually just use your fingers. Run around with your fingers, and now the tyre is released from the rim. You can pull out the tube. So we're pulling out this tube, and we're doing it without any tools at all. The tube is out. Now, that's our old tube with the puncture. That goes into the bin. We need to check in the tyre itself to make sure there's no spikes or nails or anything through the tyre base, because as soon if we look at that and it's got a pin through it, then as soon as we put a new tube in, it's going to deflate instantly. We also need to check the tape. Okay, we also need to check the tape on the rim. We can see here there's a rubber tape. We want to work our way around the rim slowly and make sure that rubber tape is in position and it's not letting any of the spokes come through, because if this tape is over to the side, it can let a spoke actually put a hole in your tube. This one's perfect, so we'll go to put the new tube back in. Okay, here's our new tube. You've got to make sure when you select the tube that you get the right size. Obviously, you've got to get the right diameter, so that means it'll fit. But you've also got to get the right width. If you get a tube that's too small, then the tube is expanded, the rubber gets very thin, and you can very easily get punctures. What we always like to do is to put a little bit of air into the tube before you start. So just the tiniest shot of air, and that'll make the tube easier to handle while you're fitting it. It just gives it a bit more sort of shape. We need to start by aligning the valve stem with the hole in the rim. So we just rotate this around, push in the valve stem. Now we can start by working our way around and just feeding the tube into the tyre. So just keep going, rotate the tyre as you're going, and just put it, tuck it in so it's all nice and neat. You can go around to the top and feed it from the top to the bottom. Okay, we now have everything tucked away fairly nice. And we start from the opposite side of the valve stem. So we're going to refit the tyre. So I just push it over using your thumbs and just work your way a little bit on each side. If the tube pops out, you just push it back in again with your fingers. Okay, we end up back here. So we've got everything back in, the tube's in, the tyre's in, our valve stem is out. We want to make sure the tube is seating fairly, the tyre is seating fairly well before we put air back in. Now trike bikes run 50 to 55 psi. Turn on the tyre gauge and we can pump it up. You want to look around the tyre to see that it's even all the way round. And I'm just pumping this up. 55 pounds. And we just put our valve cap back on. I'll grab that. Job done, ready to ride.